Hey gorgeous, this is episode number 110. You are listening to Heart Sells Podcast, and I'm your host, Christine Schlonski. And today is another Variety Friday where I answer your questions, where I share things I have learned on my sales journey to make your sales journey easier, as well as resources that I can highly recommend to support your journey. And the month of August is actually the month that I declared to learn all about rejection. And we talked about the so-called sales depression, as I called it, in episode number 107. And today I really want to go into the idea of how to deal with rejection when they come through the phone or in a live situation. So hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab. There you find all the resources, the show notes, the transcripts of each and every single episode of Heart Sells. And make sure you download the anniversary issue, which includes the first 100 episodes of Heart Sells podcasts with the titles, the guest names, and the 3 key points to give you a tool to learn fast, to know where to tune into, which episode to tune into, to get advice when you need it at your fingertips. And it's just an amazing tool that we have designed to support your wonderful journey. So today I want to give a shout out to our listeners in London, the United Kingdom, as well as actually in Monaco, where people are tuning in. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful time enjoying the topic of rejection, which is for each and every one of us a rather difficult topic. So when I started in my sales career, I never really had, that might not be the right word. I did have experienced rejection before, but when you start cold calling over the phone, you experience much more rejection. So it's not just that you 10x it, I would say you 100x or even 1000x it. And it did not feel comfortable at the beginning because I was so attached to the outcome. I wanted to make it work. I wanted to make it right. And I just wanted people to like and love what I offered. And I wanted them to say yes because I believed in my product. And coming to find out, I got so many no's, I didn't even count anymore because it didn't make sense. But what I learned in the process was how I can deal with a no. Because at the beginning, I took that pretty personal, right? It was not just a no to the product, it was a no to me as a person. And luckily, I had wonderful people surrounding me, helping me on my journey, coaching me, mentoring me, so that I could learn rather quickly, right? And in this case, especially with rejection, you want to learn fast because the faster you learn how to deal with it, the easier it becomes for you to deal with it, and it doesn't hurt so bad anymore. So this is basically what I want to share with you today, that you have an amazing product or service. You're coming from this place of being heart-centered, and you know that your product is going to make a difference for the person using it. So a no is always something that feels difficult. And I don't really remember where I heard that, but for me, no means not now. And that was such a great attitude to adopt because it made life so much easier. I could actually stop taking the no personally. I could detach myself from the service I was offering, that, if it wasn't a fit, it just wasn't a fit, and I could let go of it. So I want to invite you to really look at how do you deal with your no's. And I know we have touched that a couple of times on Heart Sells Podcast. It's going to be a topic that comes back over and over and over again. And I hope by having that topic over and over again in the different conversations, as well as in my teachings, it makes your life so much easier. For me, a no is not now, and it's also an opportunity to find out more. It is an opportunity to learn, and it is an opportunity to grow. So I actually appreciate the no. And I would want to invite you to start doing the same and just see how it feels, how much easier you can deal with the situation, because there are different types of no's. So maybe it's a no rather early in the conversation, which could mean either you're not talking to your ideal client or soulmate client, as I call them, and then it's not a fit anyway. It could also mean that the client does not have all the information they need to understand what your product is about. It could also mean that you started selling way too early and they did not see it coming, and now they shy away and they feel pressured. So you want to make sure in the sales process that you do not just make offers or invite people to buy something from the get-go. You really want to have that communication. You really want to, basically, you want them to say, wow, what is it like working with you? What can I do so that we can get together? How does it work when we coach, right? You want to have them basically reaching out. And when you've been through that sales conversation, which I highly recommend you make it a fun conversation, then you know exactly where your potential client is, what they need, how you can support them. And if you can support them, if you can add this amazing value to their life, well, obviously you're going to make an invitation, but you can still get a no because it's not the right time. They might not be ready for what you have to offer. And I've been there. I took courses, or I had some mentoring where I was just not ready from where I was on my journey. And I shouldn't have taken them, but the sales pitch was pretty good, so I said yes. And then vice versa, sometimes it's kind of too late and you have to reinvent yourself, and you really have to find support because you were stubborn and you tried to figure it out all by yourself, which I have done as well. So when you are in the conversation, please see it as a conversation. Be engaging and ask questions. If you do most of the talking, something is wrong. You want to make sure that your client or your potential client does the talking. You want to guide them. You want to help them to see where they are, and then you want to help them to see where they could be if they used your product or your services. And only when it makes sense, then you should be making an offer, an invitation to buy from you. So when you're really in that honest conversation with yourself, where you come from the place of love and service, you have a different way of listening because you then deeply care and you listen in a different way than if you would listen while preparing your answer to whatever the client or potential client is saying at that moment. So when you get the no, just take a deep breath. Relax inside, because with a no, the client is building up a wall. And you cannot really talk through a wall, right? You want to make sure that you break down the wall. And I always say when I get the no, well, that's fine. It's okay. May I ask why it's not a fit for you, right? So I make sure that they know that I'm okay that they are not buying. And then I want to have a relationship. If it's a perfect match, I want to nurture that relationship. So I also want to understand, why are they not buying? Maybe I didn't explain something correctly. Maybe I forgot to mention something that adds amazing value, so they don't even see what they are getting. So you want to make sure that you're really clear and that you get the information you need to grow. Maybe you need to change something on your product, right? And, please don't be the person that says it's not working when you only have talked to 10 people. Make sure you talk to enough people to evaluate your sales opportunity. And ideally, you already do the research before you even create a product. I would never create a product and try to sell it without knowing that there is a real demand in the market where people actually would give me money. Otherwise, it's not a good energy exchange, and it might be a total waste of your time and energy, and you will be hugely disappointed. So a no, to wrap it up, means not now. My challenge for you is this week, or starting next week, because it's Variety Friday, so Monday till the next Friday, just have a notepad next to you, and whenever you talk to an ideal client, write down, how many no's did you get? And did you have a further conversation where you said, all right, no problem, may I ask why you are not interested? Or may I ask why you are not moving forward? And then get the information. And also don't stick with the first reason your client is giving you. There are deeper levels. So please go deeper and explore those levels by asking more questions. Because you might go, you will come to the true reason when you dig deeper. Usually the first reason you are getting when it's a no, it's more or less an excuse. When you dig deeper, you will figure out more things and learn more things about the person, about how your product is perceived or your service, and what you really can learn something from that. So I hope it really makes sense to you. If you get a no, just reframe it. It's a not now. Take a deep breath and energetically don't lose your energy. It could be that you're really disappointed inside, and when that shows, it's not a comfortable feeling for your potential client. So try not to go there yourself. Try to say in the high energy, because a no means not now. So it could mean that in 5 minutes, when you discovered what they truly want and you can give it to them, they change their perspective. It could also be that they are ready in a couple of months or maybe in a couple of years, and they come back because they remember this amazing conversation with you. So never close the door. Leave it open. Do some research by asking your potential client why they are not purchasing, so you can adjust if it needs adjustment, or you can just figure out that they were not your ideal client, which obviously then is great. So you don't have somebody that you need to work with or that you decided to work with that is not giving you total joy. So I hope this makes sense. Please leave your comments. Send me an email with your questions, with suggestions, whatever comes up for you or what you are experiencing on your sales journey, to info@christineschlonski.com. Also make sure once you're over there, you find the podcast tab with all the episodes, all the resources, all the transcripts, the show notes, the key points, and all the social media handles to our amazing guests we are featuring on Hard Sales Podcast. Please subscribe, leave a rating and a review, and share the love with people you really truly care for. And invite them to listen to Hard Sales Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Have fun with Rejection. Have a wonderful day. And I'm saying bye for now.